This presentation examines workplace health risks and expatriate maladjustment in global higher education. But more importantly, it documents what happens when institutions change overnight, when people lose protection without warning. This is not theory. This is lived damage. I ask how governance shifts affect expatriate adjustment. I ask how everyday incivility dismantles well-being. What happens when rules change and leadership disappears? When silence becomes the safest strategy. This is not individual failure. It is organizational collapse. Expatriate workplace health is often assumed, not protected. People relocate families, careers, and identities based on institutional promises. One participant said, "I realized I had no protection the moment I needed it most." This is where HRD responsibility begins. The qualitative data include 32 expatriates and 47 narrative accounts. These are not complaints. They are survival record. One faculty member said, "I stopped speaking in meetings because every word could be used against me." This is how silence is manufactured. To test whether these experiences were isolated, I analyzed 164 Glassdoor reviews. The same patterns appeared again and again. One review stated, "You never know when the rules will change or who will be targeted next." This is not coincident. This is structure. The multiple capitals framework explains what people actually lose, not just jobs, energy. Psychological capital erodes through constant vigilance. Social capital collapses when colleagues disappear. Organizational capital dissolves when governance becomes opaque. This study uses mixed methods because toxicity hides in plain sight. Interviews reveal fear. Documents reveal silence. Ratings reveal polarization. Together, they expose what organizations deny. Participants came from different disciplines and career stages. What united them was vulnerability. One participant said, "As expatriates, we realized we were replaceable and alone. Loss of protection magnified every insult." The voices from the field are disturbingly consistent. People described panic attacks, insomnia, chronic fear. One participant said, "I was afraid to walk across campus because I didn't know who was watching." These are not performance issues. They are workplace health emergencies. This model shows how governance change triggers capital erosion. When organizational capital collapses, psychological strain accelerates. Social ties fracture. Health follows. Toxicity does not spread randomly. It cascades. Trust was undermined by secrecy. Psychological strain became chronic. Social capital fractured through public disrespect. Career paths stalled without explanation. One participant said, "I was punished, but no one would tell me why." This is institutional harm without fingerprints. Glassdoor ratings reveal sharp polarization. Some survive, others are destroyed. This unevenness is the signature of toxic systems. It is not resilient, it is exposure. At Wenzhou Keen University, ratings clustered at extremes, very positive or deeply negative. This split reflects unequal protection. One hosting national group is insulated. The other expatriates absorbs the harm. This is not culture. This is power. The data show that governance shifts deplete capital. Incivility accelerates psychological loss. Low organizational health drives silence, withdrawal, and exit. One faculty member said, "Leaving felt like the only way to keep my spirit." Resilience cannot fix broken systems. This integrated model reframes maladjustment as systemic. External pressure enters through governance. Internal harm spreads through daily interactions. Job dissatisfaction becomes rational, not pathological. Toxic management and geopolitical pressure jointly produce harm. Organizational and psychological capital are hit first and hardest. This is one case, and that should worry us, because it means this can happen anywhere. HRD must intervene earlier and more forcefully. Transparent governance is not optional. Protecting whistleblowers and exit voice must be real. Promotion systems must be visible. Leaders must be interculturally competent. One participant said, "Enforced silence protects the institution, not the people." Future research must move beyond documenting harm. It must examine how organizations recover after toxicity. Longitudinal studies can track whether depleted capital can be rebuilt. Comparative research can test whether governance reforms actually restore trust. Intervention studies can ask what works and what fails in real institutions. We also need to study whose voices are still missing. Gender, nationality, rank, and precarity shape exposure to harm. Future HRD research should focus not only on resilience, but on accountability, repair, and prevention. If an organization can be toxic, why can't it be healing? Toxicity is created through decisions, habits, and silence. Healing can be created the same way, through transparency, through protection, through leadership that listens instead of retaliates. This is not a question of possibility. It is a question of choice. And the responsibility to choose differently belongs to institutions, not to the people they harm.